Just hold on a second. Just hold on. We'll be there. I don't think the characters are in the right place, so let me work on that. Yep. I forgot to move everybody. I don't even remember where everyone goes.
Son of a gun.
Listen, you know what? Just give me a second here. You might be wondering why everyone is holding things up to the screen. We'll get to that in a second. We're just gonna let them keep holding that. So yeah. Tux, how's your day going so far?
Oh, it's going pretty good, sir. Oh, is it compressed gassy, the compressed air can? Oh,
No.
yeah, it's going pretty good.
You did not sell out for this. All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. I'm Arthur Perkins, and this is APGamingREAL, Mistborn Alley of Law, Episode 4. My name is Dogmeat, and I am from Fallout 4. Allow me to introduce my companions. Over there, cat creature, who are you?
Hi, my name is Banana Pudding.
Well, that's very unusual.
It's a good name.
Easy.
And you, random sock I'd like to piss in. Who are you?
We can't.
I believe you're muted, random sock, which makes sense as your lack of internal organs.
Sorry, technical difficulties. Keep going. Okay, we have sound now. Hi. I feel violated by the concept that you would piss on me. I'm Dr. Wreckage. Follow me on Twitter at Dr. Wreckage. It's down there. It's down there on the overlay to spell it correctly. I'm really excited to do role playing today. I'm told that I'll be playing the character of Dixon Beaumont. I've done a lot of work to work on my accent. Yeehaw! Right?
It turns out for once your Twitter account is correct. It does, however, take up the majority of your panel.
Hooray!
And you, random pink nightmare, who are you?
Hi, I'm beloved Nintendo icon Kirby, and with me is SciFri of twitter.com/or twitch.tv/SciFri and twitter.com/SciFri with an underscore. We're gonna play some games today. It's gonna be a fun time. Not Nintendo games though, but Crafty Games. They're like the people who wrote the Mistborn adventure game and are really talented people.
Random can of air. I really don't want to ask, but who are you?
Oh, hey, I'm the first thing that this person was able to grab because all of his stuff is in boxes. Hey there, everybody. I'm representing Tuxtradamus today. He's going to be playing Desha. I hope you're all having a fantastic day and you're ready to see some awesome role-playing. Oh, well, thanks, Gassy. I really appreciate that. Oh, no problem, man. I'd do anything for you.
You failed me for the last time, Tuxtradamus. You are in command now, Admiral SciFri. All right, we can put the puppets away. We got the intro done. I am 90% convinced we need to cut that from the YouTube.
No, it's the part that was made for video.
Well, now that we mentioned Nintendo, the video's going to get flagged.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, right.
You can't even say Nintendo has good games.
They have copyright on the word Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
So,
AP, where do I need to be in frame?
you're pretty in frame right now.
Okay.
Okay, so, and I'll edit it as we go. Yeah, that was odd. Let's talk about something way more serious. Mistborn House War is a Kickstarter from the makers of the Mistborn adventure game, who had this brilliant idea of creating a game where you play as members of a noble house attempting to undermine other noble houses, traveling across the empire. I'm not saying they stole it directly from the show, because they clearly were working on this for years. But I am saying our thought process is paralleled at some point. Consider supporting it. They're looking for people to support it and buy it and play it.
Yeah, it's already funded. They're on stretch goals.
Yeah, they got funded in the first day.
Let's stretch these goals out.
Where's which stretch goal is House Martell?
It's not, because there's a shit ton of copyright issues involved in that. I warned you. I
Yeah.
literally warned you
Wait.
ahead of time. I was like, listen, there's going to be problems with this. Just
Why?
think, you could have picked another name and I could have sold it. I could have literally gone to the fucking president of Gamerati, Ed Healy, and been like, you know, House Blargle has been making a real serious impact on YouTube.
What is the copyright infringement here?
Martell from Game of Thrones?
I
It's a
don't watch Game of Thrones.
It's my fault.
Um,
It's my fault because I looked up on the internet like last names database, went through and found one that I thought was appropriate.
So what about
and I
House
suggested
Beaumont?
it, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's fantastic. Let's do it." And then after that is when it was determined. Wait a minute. Have you heard of this thing called Game of Thrones? And I was like,
I don't. I
So
I
here's
didn't
the
know that.
question, Avery. Do you have a solid contact at Gamerati? Because I don't.
Yeah.
And I hear rumors that our friends at Gamerati are going to have playtest materials for the Rules Light Shadowrun at Gen Con, and I need to get myself hands on that.
Playtest materials for what?
The new Rules Light Shadowrun Anarchy.
I'll
I
talk.
heard that it's going to be at Gen Con, and that Gamerati is the ones doing the publishing for it.
Oh, they
I
are.
mean, I'll talk. And if such a thing exists, I'll ask that I get one before you,
Oh,
because I
because
like
know how
the
to play
Shadowrun
Shadowrun 5, I'll be
universe.
fine.
They're just completely awful at doing the thing that they're supposed to do, which is fun.
I've been binging on Shadowrun lore this past week because I refinished Dragonfall.
Dragonfall was good, but Hong Kong.
Those
was
games
better.
were good. Yeah, yeah,
Hong
yeah.
Kong fucking
I have
knocks
not,
it out.
Hong
the park.
Kong is the only one I've not played. I've played Shadowrun Returns.
Hong Kong was good.
Hong Kong is insanely good.
Hong Kong was good.
I voiced the entirety of Hong Kong, every single voice line. It took me like 35 hours, and my play was bazonkers good. Yep. Okay, so we've already fucked up the show horribly, and
What?
probably lost all respect from our viewers.
What?
I didn't have respect to begin with.
So
Oh, I
good
know what's in
news.
Roll 20. Hang on.
Good news.
I don't want viewers who don't respect sock puppetry.
Almost 100% of the viewers chose one person last week to be the one that they voted on, and that was Hope. They wanted to date Hope.
Oh.
So none of you get an advancement, and if
She
Deanne
will
ever
get
comes
an
back,
advancement when she gets
she's
in.
going to get that sweet advancement.
I
I think that vote was rigged.
Yeah, it was by me.
do
I
you,
literally
would you like me to
told
mark
everybody
her
to
thing
vote
for
me.
her, so we can remember that?
I'll remember. Don't worry.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
He'll
so as
want to
someone
bring it
who-
up and wave it in people's
Yeah.
faces.
Probably.
As someone who was at off the grid for a week and a half, like I said, what happened during the last?
Last time on Alloy of Law. Bum bum.
Yeah. It's like when they come in and they do
What?
the intro and like one of the characters is like previously on Firefly.
So
Previously on Lost.
our special guest was Pian playing Hope, the Bandit Queen, an aspiring Bandit Queen, rather, not actually a currently Bandit Queen.
Mhm.
So the scene comes up with the chaos of the old lady McFanny farm that Desha and my sister Daisy ruined. They're driving away as I'm driving in. We pass each other. I come in to find the ranch hands and Brugger's boys in a full-on firing. Brieger's boys in a death match, basically. But Brieger is on the side of the road, just sort of like looking, because he's no longer in command, because that was part of the result of that fight, remember, is that they lost the fight and he won, but he lost the respect of his crew. So I used this opportunity to bring him into the carriage. We discussed the deal that we had. We discussed how the deal is going to go forward. Eventually, I get him to agree to hire on as one of my associates. And if he wouldn't mind awfully cleaning up this mess that my other associates made. So he goes out and starts murdering his own crew that abandoned him. And you know, he can ferrochemic gold, so he's quite good at it. I use this opportunity to like, I race out with bandages and alcohol and stuff to treat ranch hands' injuries. And I make a good impression with the young McFanny, Applejacks,
You mean
Evelyn
Charity
McFanny.
Evelyn McFanny?
Yeah, Charity
Yeah.
Evelyn McFanny. And Brieger's boys end up destroyed. And Brieger is hired on at my crew as a reformed citizen. Like that is basically what goes into the papers, is that I reformed him and he destroyed his own gang in an act of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Restoration or whatever. Not retribution. Anyway. So I actually abandoned the farm. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I've gained this guy, which is great. He's really competent and capable. So I've gained enough out of this. And old lady McFanny scares me. So I'm going to stop pursuing it when she visits my house and says flat out that she would trade the farm to me in exchange for getting Charity into some prestigious universities. And like getting her like some doctors because she's dying of cancer, and like basically like I use my connections to get the farm. And so we end up with the farm, which is great. And so far, unfortunately, Pian hasn't been able to participate. So now we make our plan, because we've just completed that plan. And our plan is, well, we can't do any more nefarious, no good deeds if Sherlock Holmes is on our tail. So we have to kill Coop. And we get Pian intimately involved. First, we bring her in with some scenes that are
I
really
just want to
great.
stop you here. Are you going to play-by-play the entire last episode?
I'm about
Can we speed this up with you met with Coop at the hotel?
Uh-huh.
You tricked him into going onto a date with Desha, and you shot him in the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Pian was involved.
Pian was
Yeah.
involved.
Pian
Pian
Widowmaker
was
Coop.
the evil bandit who shot him in the back of the head, so Dixon didn't
Took
look
full
bad in the
responsibility.
press.
Yeah. I didn't have to pass it off on anybody because she wants
They
it.
also tricked Desha into this date.
Yeah, I know. It was beautiful. I think I mentioned that too.
Yeah, they completely tricked her, and then didn't tell her until like after like he got shot. She thought they were under attack, and so she was trying to defend everybody, and then she finally joined, and then like, yeah, we'll tell you what happened later. And
Okay. So the like one sentence play-by-play that I'm taking away from it is, you did get the farm or didn't get the farm?
we did get the
They
farm.
got the farm. They
got
moved
the
in.
farm.
They did
We our base now is basically the farm.
Yeah, you got the farm and you killed the Moriarty character.
Yeah.
I mean, you say Moriarty, but I thought he was a bit more Holmesian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Dixon is more Moriarty-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, it can go both ways.
Yep. We killed
I'm
Cumberbatch.
just calling
I
him
mean,
Holmes because he's
I
our
was gonna
protagonist.
say, I mean, never mind. I'm just gonna
But anyway, let's get into the here and now.
Done. Not important. Moving on.
So, now that we're relatively caught up, we come back 2 weeks later on the show. Probably there's like a little white text box in the lower left-hand corner of the screen while it's dark that says 2 weeks later. And we're in the center of the beautiful park with the statue of Harmony unleashing the power of his arms and bringing the basin together in Elendil. And there are a number of protesters holding signs up on either side of this park. Some of them are raising signs saying, Franny May Binwin, lynch this bitch. There's some other signs that are like, the electric company will bring us the future. And there's not a lot of like really good sloganing going on here. These people clearly made these signs themselves and like brought them up. There's a lot of sexism and a little bit of anti-Colossian hatred. There's also a surprisingly large amount of anti-Coinshot, anti-Lurcher sentiment where there's like a third small group that are like, keep Coinshots out of the city. True Medill for true Medillions.
And somehow coin shots are not interesting.
And yeah, the camera, which is clearly mounted to a quadcopter, zooms over the city. We get the fast lapse camera where it's like following the road down to the farm.
We have a good budget on the show.
Yeah, where the gang is meeting up, and we'll do the scheme in a few minutes, but I'm curious as to what your goals are, right?
I'm curious as to how
with that extremely long recap, I feel like perhaps we should break it up with a little bit of role play before we start scheming.
Yeah.
So yeah, Flint Carson, you
Yeah.
were challenged to a duel by the fastest gun in the world, Adium Annie.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Yeah, like you've been preparing all that time for this duel. Are you intending to go through with it, or?
You say preparing all the time for this duel. My instinct is that he just skipped town. Like,
So you've come back now that
Yeah.
Adium Annie's
you
left.
know, like it's
All
been a
right.
couple weeks. I'm like, maybe the situation has cooled down a bit.
Oh, so
Right.
no. So
Yeah.
what it is the first thing we see in the house is a newspaper that's like Adium Annie's still fastest gun. And then like the right-hand picture is like Flint Carson, where is he? And you put the newspaper down and it's you sitting in the same
Yeah.
Yeah,
position.
it's Flint looking to the right, and we move it down, and it's Flint looking to the right.
Well,
at one of us. Yeah.
putting the like newspaper down, he crumples it up and throws it.
I'm sorry. So, did Flint Carson not do the?
No, it did not go through with
He
the duel.
left
with
town
it.
so he didn't have to fight the duel.
Yeah,
Giggity.
hopped on a train and bailed
What a great guy.
Took the midnight train going anywhere.
because it does not compute in his simple cowboy mind of why someone would want to fight someone for show.
Oh, she's
More like
killed
her
most
owner.
of her opponents.
Yeah,
But just for prestige is what he's saying.
yeah.
Um,
He wouldn't kill someone for prestige.
Just
all
for
right.
money.
Yeah,
Just for money.
Got
No,
it.
for a real reason.
I mean, yeah, those are physical gains. Like,
I get them gains.
All right. So that means Flint Carson's back in town.
yes.
Yeah, he's in your house reading a newspaper at your kitchen table. So, Daisy, Desha, where are you guys at?
I was gonna say, I think this is like he came home like in the middle of the night, and this is him having breakfast the next morning. And like Daisy comes in with her like bowl of oatmeal or whatever and sees him and gets super excited because she's never met him before, but she's heard so much about him. So yeah, so she just kind of haphazardly drops her oatmeal on the edge of the table. Again, hold on.
Oh, that's right. You want to be a really good gunfighter. And
Yep.
Flint Carson is the second best gunfighter in the entire world.
Yeah, yeah.
Mace.
Second best.
It remains to be seen.
So
Carson has actually not fucking discharged a round from his pistol yet.
I know, right? So Daisy,
The best- The best one doesn't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
When you're too fat.
Daisy comes up and she says, "Oh my goodness, you are really Flint Carson in the flesh in our house. Oh my goodness gracious, please." And she sticks out her hand like right in your face.
Yeah, he sort of like physically backs up and he's like,
Daisy Beaumont.
oh, you must be related to Dixon then.
Yeah, Dixie's my brother after all. Please, he's told me so much about you.
Has he now?
Oh, you are just as handsome as his letters implied.
Mr. Beaumont told you that I was handsome?
Well, not in so many words. No.
I just had this image in my head.
You tell me what you people are doing. I have no
Yeah,
fucking clue.
it's just the awkward silence.
No, yeah, it's the awkward silence moment.
Uh,
Desha, any
guess
chance you
just
want to
like-
make this more awkward?
Sure.
Maybe
Desha
come
probably
down
comes
in
with
like a morning dress or something?
Oh God, no.
Oof. Oh.
She has not worn a dress since the date. It's been like pants and shirts. Yeah, and so she's in her just like the regular simple random tears and random like sewn together pieces of shirt and pants. No shoes, of course. And then maybe she comes in bringing like a tray of like other breakfast stuff, like cut up fruits and like breads and things, like to go with the oatmeal or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like stands in with like the awkward silence, and then I have food.
Oh, yes, Deja, have you met Flint Carson? Oh my goodness! And just look at him,
Mr. Carson.
Yeah, they have actually worked
He
together.
he sort of tips his head. He's like,
Mhm.
nice to meet you.
You too.
Where would
And, like-
Mr. Beaumont be?
She sets the tray down like on the table.
Yeah.
And then I think he is still sleeping. Do you require him?
Not urgently.
All right.
Yeah, during this, Daisy flounces over. When I say flounce, but she's wearing, pants and a flannel shirt and suspenders and everything, and her little flat hat even inside during the day. But she's still it's a half prance to back over to where her oatmeal was set down, and she just sits in front of it and is like, well, this is such an honor. Just eating with you, and I'm going to be working with you too. Oh my goodness, I've heard so much about your marksmanship. Maybe you can show me a thing or two.
Yeah, so I guess Flint Carson, he's just like now when I entered a business arrangement with Mr. Beaumont, it was generally part of the deal that he wouldn't spread too much word about me. I'm the kind of guy who likes to fly under the radar.
Mr. Carson, don't you worry. She's just part of the team, that's all.
Mr. Beaumont.
Good morning, Desha. How'd you sleep?
Fine.
That's good to hear. Good to see you back in town, Mr. Carson. Things have gone well in your absence.
Hopefully your next scheme won't run me out of town like the last one.
My scheme had nothing to do with it, sir. You need to get your own affairs in order.
I ain't exactly keen on my name being up on the newspaper.
Well, that has to do with that little lady that has a problem with you, and, well, there's only one solution to that, and you chose the more prolonged and clandestine version.
Yes, killing people is the only solution to problems, apparently.
Well, you just need to beat her in a duel. She doesn't have to die.
I ain't gonna duel her, Mr. Carson. She's a good gun.
Well, I understand that and I agree, but as long as you run from this little challenge, it'll never go away. As long as you're aware.
Mr. Beaumont, do you want your Elendelian brandy or something else to drink for the morning?
Brandy, as usual. Thank you very much.
She goes to get it.
Things are going quite well, actually. I think I see you managed to find your way to the new home.
Word gets around fast.
Yes, the Casa de Beaumont is open for business, and with it, a new era for Trumadil.
We ready
It's
to start scheming, or
In
Yeah.
fact, Mr. Carson, I think I have a way to solve both of our little problems. Now, you see, it ain't right and proper to gun down a sheriff in an honor duel. That's just not right. So,
happens all the time, actually.
Doesn't make it right.
that just ain't right. A sheriff has to put the needs of the people before petty little duels. So you would have a perfectly legitimate excuse to avoid this little lady if, say, you were the sheriff of Trumadil.
You do understand what I mean when I say I don't want people knowing my name. That doesn't fly over you.
I mean, why, Mr. Carson? We had you up on a podium last week. 2 weeks ago. I'm being told.
Probably a
That's
servant
down for
walks
a
over
reason.
and just whispers in your
going
ear.
fast. People forget.
I mean, is it the name specifically? Could you have an alias? Would that satisfy your needs? Or is it just you like not to be known by people in general?
Well, I'm right.
You make me a
surprised.
sheriff. I can't. Duties weigh me down. Man's got to roam freely.
Oh, yeah, you're a major headache. Now, I'm afraid Desha does not have the
You're gonna say something racist.
political savvy to be a sheriff.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Mr. Brieger, who could indeed do it, it's a little much to go from gang boss to sheriff inside
Is
of
Brieger there for this conversation?
maybe.
Daisy's saying no.
Probably right after that, Desha comes back with brandy snifter and then the bottle. She obviously warmed the glass because that's what you do with brandy.
Out of character, I wouldn't know. I'm not an alcoholic, but Dixon loves brandy, apparently.
Jesus.
Thank you very much. And Brieger, he can't, within inside of 2 weeks, go from gang boss to sheriff. You just can't make that. I can't put him out there as a possible candidate. So, Mr. Carson,
You're gonna say
Almost.
McCree, you motherfucker. You serious? You literally can't stop thinking of him as McCree from Overwatch.
We were just gonna let it slide, but
No, I'm never gonna let that slide. Stop thinking
well,
of
it's
him
okay.
as
I really
McCree.
wanted to make the joke that when he didn't want to be the sheriff. I really wanted to make the joke that, well, justice is not going to dispense itself. We need a good sheriff.
okay.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
So, Mr. McCree,
Now-
goddamn
now,
it, Mr.
Dick.
Carson, you are my only option vis-a-vis getting a foot in the door in the law of this town. Now, I understand your trepidation, but
Dix, please, you're forgetting someone here at this table that is just as qualified.
you are a 16-year-old girl.
I am 17. Thank you very much. That
You
makes
are
me
a
a woman.
17-year-old girl. You realize the
Woman.
position of sheriff
Thank
is an
you.
elected position. I cannot
And
get
you
you
don't
elected.
think that I could? You don't think that I could convince the populace to vote for this face?
Absolutely not. For the position of sheriff, not for the position of town dandy or fashionista.
Well, Mr. Beaumont,
knew it.
seems
I
you're
knew
not
his-
doing much. Why don't you run for office?
Racist, sexist. How much far is he gonna go, buddy?
I have every intention of running for office, but of a position I can actually fulfill. I'm not a sheriff. Now, the current sheriff is a gold compounder, and that's the sort of skill you need to actually handle the job. You're just as capable of fulfilling this position with your excellent skill with a gun.
Brieger uses gold.
He does indeed, and he would be capable of doing the job of sheriff, just I can't get him elected. He's recently reformed.
You making talk
Yeah.
about aliases. Why not give Brieger one?
He just wasn't interested. The whole idea of him being reformed actually worked out quite well, and the more that he does upstanding public servantry underneath my name, the better my name in town gets. I understand why you hesitate, Mr. Carson, but I mean, where?
Sheriff's got to guarantee safety. I don't know if I can do that.
I understand. I mean, is this not the sort of job that tickles your fancy? Putting bad guys away in prison and occasionally overlooking my own misdeeds?
See, I was wondering what your motivation was.
Was it not obvious? With you in the position of sheriff, I no longer have to worry about the law in Trumadale, and I can pursue my own interests without looking over my shoulder. Eventually, Mr. Carson, this does lead to us essentially owning the town. I elect myself to a position of political power. You're the sheriff. I control
Now,
business interests
You
in the city.
say you don't have to worry about the law, but if you make me sheriff, that worry falls on me.
Well, we're a family here, Mr. Carson, and we will take up all problems together. You know, a rising tide raises all ships, as they say.
Or you could do things right and not make problems.
I mean, I understand that you are hesitant about this. If now's not the time, we can revisit this at a later date and come up with a different scheme for today's episode.
You can't just break the fourth wall like that. You can't.
I did it.
So
Let it go.
I mean,
Desha
that was
dims the
most
camera.
No, I
casual
guess he's just
small
like
break. Most cash.
he thinks for a while, then he stands up. He sort of like puts his gun on the table. He's like, "I'll do it, Mr. Beaumont, but you better have a good plan in place."
Wow, I was just about to get to that. You see, there's this lovely ball in town, and I'll get to meet our sheriff for the first time and take the measure of his manness.
Segue
Segue.
segue
into the
to
scheme work.
Segue into
you're
why you
preparing to go to this ball. Are you ready for this? You're preparing to get invites to the ball, and you get news from your steward, Isaac.
I
That
got a steward.
Yeah, Miles de Gouter, the law keeper for Trumadill, has left.
Wait, what?
Drumadill?
Yeah. He just
Where's he
disappeared
gone?
last night, took his badge,
Okay.
and left.
Punk ass bitch.
Are you saying that the position of sheriff is just open?
So your steward, Isaac, is like, I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid you might have some disillusions as to how sheriffing works. It's called a law keeper, and anyone can take up the position. I understand all you need to do is check in with a local bounty board and receive a golden badge after your first mercenary work.
So it's it's not a position that one man occupies.
There was only one in Trumadill. That's rather unusual for a town of this size, but he was a rather unusual man. I suspect several individuals will attempt to fill the void.
Interesting.
Now, do you prefer your crepes with or without catsup?
With, obviously. Give me extra catsup. Thank
Of
you.
course, Daisy.
Very well. I think it behooves us to see how that plays out then, before we get involved in it ourselves. I do quite like the idea of chaos within the ranks of the law. Maybe we don't put Mr. Carson in a singular position of sheriff. I was incorrectly informed as to the nature of how sheriffing worked. It doesn't seem to hold any power if anybody can be sheriff at the same time. It was just that he survived for so long. So I imagine a lot of people who aren't gold compounders will try and fill the position, get killed rather quickly, and we won't have to worry about any steady presence of the law in the town anyway.
Well, I reckon if we can keep your name off that bounty board, then it wouldn't be a problem. Maybe what we really need is somebody working at that bounty office.
That's an interesting question. To no one in particular, how does the bounty office work and how is it run? That was to you, Arthur. It was to no one in particular, but it was to the GM.
Ah, of course.
Who knows setting?
My bad. I thought when you said to no one in particular, I thought you were asking your other players, and I was like, "Huh, Kool-Aid Man, interesting." No, it's literally like what you would expect. There's a bunch of bounties on a wall in the jail, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna take down Billy the Kid." Cool, 3,000 gold boxings, perfect.
Is there someone higher than, like, once the bounty hunters are there, is there, like, judges and crap?
Not really.
Oh, it's just
So-
you put them in jail and they just kind of sit there?
Who disseminates
Like-
bounties? Who creates them in the first place?
Like the local mayor.
Okay, so it's okay. So the government as a whole.
The government, yes, handles the bounties.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't
So
put bounties out on innocent people. All these bounties are for like folks that have killed dozens of people. Or
So it's all for
Link.
convicted criminals.
Yes.
So who does the convicting of crimes if the sheriff position is below the bounty? Like, how do people?
You keep using sheriff. That's not a thing that exists in this world. They're
There's
just called
Yeah,
lawkeepers.
they're lawmen.
Yeah.
All right, lawman. Okay, lawman. Who does the convicting of crimes in the first place?
Judges.
Who makes judges? Okay, so there are judges.
Yes.
And then people get brought before them by whom?
By the lawmen.
I think they're called magistrates, but yes, they're just brought before them by the local town constables.
Yeah.
Constables. Okay. So, and that's the police force?
Yep.
Okay.
Who typically don't go into the wilds to hunt down
There's-
criminals because they work in the city and like having a 9-to-5 job where they
There's
don't get
city
shot in the
police,
face.
and
Okay.
then there's
Really?
freelance.
What we're trying to find out here, Arthur, is how do we subvert the law?
I know.
Given
I'm
the
catching that.
that exists?
I feel like this is a great time to start scheming, don't you?
I would think a judge
Maybe
position would be the
not,
best
because
thing to
we don't-
get, but that's going to be difficult.
Well, because there are probably more than one judge. It seems like
To start scheming, we need to understand what
I mean, right now it sounds like your goal is to maybe become a member of the government somehow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Should that just be the goal? Get one of us into the government?
I mean, I'm totally fine with that sort of open-ended goal, but we also have to decide exactly what our scenes are going to be.
Yeah,
So
well,
I'm
that's
not
the.
sure.
This
How
is
we
a
do
court
that.
of law.
I mean,
Welcome
there's
to
the
Judge
like
Desha.
the wide open-ended goals are for the scheme, like the.
Yeah,
the
and
plan of
then the
action.
next half you have to have specific scenes, so we need to actually comprehend what we're doing, which is dumb, but I won't get into it.
We could use the scenes like we did in Mistborn, kind of as like a let's figure out what we're going to do, have a short breather of a day, and then redo the objectives.
Okay, so
Get
first of all,
someone into government position.
first of all, it sounds like we had a long breather at the end of the last episode, right?
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Why don't we upgrade characters?
I like that plan.
All right.
For those of
That'll-
you at home, if you haven't checked the YouTube description section, the vote this week is which character caused the most trouble for the party.
Oh, interesting. A negative one.
6. Okay, cool.
I like that angle.
I'm thinking like I'm gonna get my mortal burden down to a grave burden.
That sounds wise.
Yeah.
Oh, are we spending advancement?
Yep.
And so I can only do that. I can't spend my advancements and then also spend my time turning that into a serious, right?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Yep, that's all I'm gonna do then.
I'm increasing my influence from 4 to 5, vis-a-vis no longer having a crazy person around town investigating me. I'm pretty much free and clear, and everyone knows me as the guy who reformed Brieger.
I have 4 advancements. I can save them, or I could get a new trait or a new stunt.
Your new trait is fastest gun in the dill.
I mean, that would be pretty sweet.
No, I can't.
That'll get you into an honor duel.
It would get
See,
me to
what
win
you
on
need to do is
But
game
then
the
when I
system.
succeed
Get really, really
on
vague
it-
traits. Get a trait that's Daisy. Get a trait that is female. So you can use them for any role. I am Daisy, and I am also female when I am doing this action. So I get 2 extra dice.
I mean, Arthur is a
I
critical
feel like there's a difference
trait
between
So,
traits and-
listen. When things like this happen, I'm reminded of the classic Serenity film, the Firefly sequel movie, where the main bad guy, who remains completely nameless throughout, is shot in the chest repeatedly by Malcolm Reynolds and reveals he has bulletproof armor and says, "But I am not a moron." And I feel like that applies here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good try, though. Good try, though, Desha.
Although I think I might take dual wielding since I'm already ambidextrous in order to just
You should increase the
Oh,
trait
yeah.
that you use to shoot a gun because it wasn't very good.
That's true.
First
He
of all,
is correct about that.
It's pretty good now.
that costs 6. Second of all, I already fixed it as much as I could.
Yeah, now it's pretty good.
Yeah, as much as you could.
What is
Right.
the stat that you use for gun shooting?
Physique.
Physique.
Unless you're in an honor duel, in which case
Right.
you can also use wits.
Okay.
In which case you use wits. You use the lower of the two unless you have a feat. Or
That's for
stunt.
initiative. That's for initiative. Use lower two to
Yep.
initiatize.
Anyway,
You want to
okay.
pick up the gunplay stunt
Anyway.
dual wielder? You
I'm
can
thinking
fire
about it.
a pistol in each hand as a single action.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just because then I won't be going without spending my advancements, and also I kind of wanted this from the beginning, so I'm gonna take it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, not to cut back to the scheme real quick, but question 2.
What's your method?
What is your method?
we don't even have a scheme yet.
Yeah, get someone into a government position. I mean, more
It's
specific.
not where we agreed on that. Who wrote that down?
Oh, that I asked, and we were like, sure, that sounds good.
We're doing.
Okay, so the problem is that it's an open-ended goal, but we're later on going to have to specify what that goal is, and we
I
don't have
mean,
any of
We
the.
don't have to beat the whole scheme in one session.
Well, we could. Look,
That's true.
we can do what we did in Mistborn last time. Just make a very small scheme for this session, and then figure out something
Yes.
bigger. So our goal could be figure out weaknesses in the local government.
Wow, that'd be a great scheme because that one's easily achievable.
That's
You
true.
can
Let's figure
roll
out
an
weaknesses in the
advancement
local
point.
government.
See, we're learning. We're learning the game. We're learning the game.
Learning the game.
I mean,
on
it
our
only
next
took
session.
like
Yeah.
so many catastrophic
like 13
failures.
weeks.
It's like 14 or 13 or 14 at this point.
And then it sounds like our well, that's gonna be our in.
Our method
yeah.
is rubbing elbows, attending parties, making public appearances. You know, that,
Yeah.
Would you
like,
say
what-
your method is diplomacy?
yeah,
Diplomacy.
diplomancy.
Diplomancy.
What is standing in your way?
The
Who are
government.
you affecting adversely by this scheme?
Criminals.
No, actually, criminals aren't really standing in our way. The only people who don't want us to know the weaknesses in the government are the corrupt in the government. Like, because
So
they
would
are
you
the
say
weaknesses.
political opponents are
Sure.
your
Yeah.
opposition?
Political opponents.
Political opponents, corrupt politicians.
Yeah.
Who are trying
All right.
to
Now, what's our in is the party.
Yeah, there's a
A
big
party where
party.
like all the
there's
big
there's
wigs
a
are
ball
gonna be-
going on.
They're gonna be
All the-
rubbing their elbows. We need to get in on that elbow rubbing. Like, hey man, can I rub your elbow?
Can you
How's your
tell
elbow
me
doing?
more about this ball?
Yeah,
Who's holding
so
it and
this,
where
this is
and why?
Yeah, what's
um,
the celebration for?
the celebration. They're throwing an impromptu celebration. It's the going away celebration for the McFannies. They've been such a staple of Trumadil for generations that the mayor is using this as an opportunity really to show off, but it's like, oh, we've put up a little plaque in the town square and that sort of thing. Like, and this is the goodbye McFannies. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for all your years of hard work. We're so happy you're going to be
Goodbye,
retiring,
McFanny.
Allendale.
Yeah, and
Uh,
because it's a party held by the mayor, all the politicians and bigwigs are like, you have to make an appearance there if you're
Yeah. Mhm.
anyone who's anyone is gonna
Yeah.
be there.
McFanny going away party to rub the elbows of fancy government people.
Perfect.
Like the
All
spelling
right.
of government.
What do you have to work with?
It's like I don't even have to ask questions anymore.
Okay, so
So I've got a pretty young sister who's in town visiting and is of marrying
That's the
age.
thing you already have. This is something that you don't have on your character sheet, but could
Right.
reasonably have to help you acquire this scheme.
Well, so here's things I don't have on my character sheet, but are already part of the game. I have the knowledge that this. Remember way back when Daryl Hart revealed some hidden knowledge about the electrical plant, and that hidden knowledge was that the person in government is dating the person in business that's doing it.
That was a
Oh.
rumor that he had heard. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got rumors about.
Do you? I mean, do you
Political
know what the
gossip.
actual rumor is? Did you write it down?
I didn't write it down. I've got a
Very well.
brain that holds memories in it.
You
It
have
was.
a section
I
on
don't
your
remember the
website
names.
called Secrets Known.
I do remember that they were. It was very
All right,
progressive.
I'm getting you the names down, my friend.
Yes, it was Councilwoman Franny Mae Binwin and Bella
Geffenry.
Henry.
Giffenry.
Yeah, it's
So,
like
yeah.
it's pronounced like Jeff Henry.
There's a scandalous infidelity rumor between the two, and that would be rather corrupt of them. So if there was more going on there, so we got that.
Yep.
The other thing that we have is
Just change my name.
this is also technically something that's known, but this is the going away party for the McFannies who are retiring in Ellendale, and I have some like credit for that. Like
Yeah.
people are going to be going up to you like, well, Mr.
Are you
Palmer-
invited as the guest of honor, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yes, guest of honor. Guest of honor. Swish. Good job, Arthur.
Guest of honor.
I
Something.
don't have much. Flint Carson doesn't have much to bring to the table other than he can shoot people.
Don't worry. We'll make sure
but
that you
does
get to do it.
SciFri have an idea that we could have as a gang?
This is technically out of character.
I have something you can use.
Oh.
Two of you are actual Elendil nobility, or at least were once. And true Medillions believe themselves to be the next best thing to God in Elendil. So they're often very interested in putting themselves on a pedestal near or better than Elendil.
Oh yeah. So they can use their reputation.
I'm sure
Yes.
someone would love to
of
use you
Oman family
to promote
Okay, cool.
themselves.
I mean, if we're talking like things that could be conversation starter, this is like Flint Carson's like return into town after ditching from a highly publicized duel. I guarantee you, people will want to talk to him.
Well, I heard that Flint Carson is a yellow-bellied coward. What'd you say your
He's like,
name
Yellow
again was,
belly,
son?
yellow belly, son of a gun.
He's like, I'll kill you.
Don't worry, I've got a silver tongue. I know how to spin.
Why, sir? I don't think you kill me. I'll just challenge you to a duel.
And you'll run away.
I was just gonna leave that last part, unsaid. Because
I'll kill them. I'll kill
All right.
them.
What don't we know?
It is kind of lame that he just wasn't the person playing, and now he's got a bad rep.
Well, no, because like AP was willing to let be assumed that I went through with it, and I'm like, no, Flint Carson wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
No.
What don't you know? I think we don't actually know we don't know anything about the actual current political atmosphere of the city.
It's true.
So
I
Yeah.
have no feelers in politics because,
Who? Yeah, because
it's like-
really, we're just gonna be like, we don't really know who to talk to right now. It's just gonna be like, he looks kind of important.
So I think we can accurately say for this question, what don't you know? Everything. We're just coming into
No,
this.
we can't leave it that open for him.
This is our literally our fact finding scheme. This is going to be the stepping stone into doing more political stuff.
Yeah. So what we don't know are like the actual openings that we could take advantage of.
People who are important.
Mhm. People who are important,
The rumors that everybody knows.
and probably even more important, like what's because like there's like the good side of that, like who's important, who's in government, and then also like the flip side of that, like who's like the corrupt people.
We
Like,
don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know who the good, the bad, and the ugly are.
I mean, are we? Which we don't know which one are we? Are we the good, the bad, or are we the ugly?
No one ever tells you when you're the ugly.
Yeah, that's the thing. So everyone just assumes they're either the good or the bad. No one wants to think they're the ugly.
No one wants to think they're the ugly.
I mean,
Who is the ugly one?
Yeah.
We don't know who is the
And
ugly
then-
one.
Are we
Okay,
the
there we go.
fast or the dead? We don't know.
Well, we're
we go.
alive, so we are the quick. which by the way, it's
Okay, what could go wrong?
God.
I know. I got one for this. So what could go wrong is that some other more violent gang could take advantage of Miles' Thousand Lives being out of town in order to disrupt this party.
It's
Mhm.
true. There could be.
Criminal activity that isn't
Yeah.
us. Other crims who do their crimming.
It isn't us.
You know, there's one criminal in particular who might be interested in getting control of his gang back now that
His
his
gang's
job's
dead.
done.
Didn't
I
he
mean,
kill
he
his gang?
killed a lot of
Totally
them, but
our best friend. What are you talking about?
Would they
Why
really
is-
want him back?
Why isn't he up there under our
I mean, he's technically an asset under Dixon's page, but the 2 weeks have
oh
run
yeah,
out.
so.
I mean, I can
criminal
keep paying.
criminal activity that isn't us, and then also what could go wrong is like someone from Ellendale comes in and is like, okay, you know what, you guys have been shit for so long, we're just gonna take over. Like someone out could come in and try to like take
Wow,
over the
somebody
actual
out
political.
Beaumonts the Beaumonts?
Yeah, we get out Beaumonted.
Yikes.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean, if they can literally come in with no foundation and just do it, then like
Well, because we don't know the political climate. There might be like
Right, exactly.
high
Like-
rollers we don't know about.
Yeah, old Jimmy Venture could come by and just be like, you know what, I'm in charge
I
now.
love how you go straight for the
McKinley
ventures, too.
Shows up.
I mean, a family like that.
Just a pro tip, the ventures are all dead in the Alloy of Liar.
That's true.
I figured.
Yep.
All right.
I
What
figured-
okay. So what comes next? What comes next is we pinpoint a position and get it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
figure out what thing we actually want to corruptify, and we corruptify it.
Sweet.
Oh.
Scheme.
Oh, man. You know
Figure
what?
out-
Nope. I'm going to Game of Thrones the shit out of this one.
This is gonna be the
That one statement right there, don't worry. Later on, it's going to make a lot of sense.
no, it's gonna make a lot of sense right now.
So you know.
Okay.
So I've
Figure
never
out
like.
opportunity, scrap opportunity and get it.
I mean,
So I'm just gonna think you're being a clever GM, but really you're stealing from Game of Thrones.
I am, but the very specific phrasing I used.
All right. Objective 1. So, basically, well, it sounds like the party is going to be most of, if not all of the episode. So we should split the party into objectives. So like we have an invitation to the party. So getting into the party isn't like a thing.
Right. So
We're in the party.
objective 1 is to make a good appearance as the guest of honor.
Yeah.
What you're saying by that is that you want to be challenged
What?
on that
What?
particular point. I mean, if it's an objective, you're saying you want that to be a scene. Don't worry.
God damn it! I hate this system. So, like, yes, it's a scene. It's us
Yeah.
doing a thing.
I
where
know.
we be
I know.
guests of
Don't
honor.
worry. Don't
Yeah.
worry, buddy. Don't worry.
I'm so worried. I hate this so
it'll
much.
it'll
Uh,
totally work. It'll be
uh,
great.
Objective 2.
Rub the elbows of important people.
Yeah, well, yeah, like start schmoozing.
Yeah. Schmooze.
I'd probably say this too much, but I actually really love this system.
Schmooze with
Look
the
at
big
me not
wigs.
having to do anything. While these people are busy writing their own script, here I am just typing up some notes real quick.
Yeah,
Got a couple
I don't
NPCs.
like having to constrain my scenes in the future.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
kind
the
of like
second
it
half of
when,
this.
when
I love the
stuff is
first
open-ended.
page. I hate the second page. And you can
Well,
tweak
maybe
that.
don't constrain them so much. We can play a little loosey-goosey with it.
Schmooze
We'll
with so,
try.
okay, so make
Schmooze
the
with the big
appearance.
wigs.
Schmooze
And
with the big wigs.
then lock the doors and kill
Wait,
everybody.
wouldn't figuring out who the big wigs are be part of this? Especially
That's
if
That's a
you
good
have
point.
you
Well, so
literally put
identify
that you
targets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't know who they are.
Visualize, then execute.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, make sure we have them in our sights.
Yeah.
Soldier 76
There we go.
reporting for duty. I got to tell you, Dad 76 is making a lot of waves on the internet, and there's
True.
Love
Good
every
Twitter
single-
art.
Especially the mom.
I love all the comics that make Soldier 76 into a dad. They're amazing.
Mercy Mom,
Every single one of them.
Doritos Gremlin, Junkrat on a leash.
I don't think there's any more to the party that we can pre-plan here.
No,
Like,
it's like what after? Like I do.
if we have to have more objectives after that, like
Yeah.
we will have to have a breather.
I think an objective would be identifying. You know, like your final goal here is to figure out a weakness in local government. So Your
Yeah, so I
final
guess-
objective, you got to have one that involves doing something along those lines.
Yeah.
Once you're done smoozing with the big wigs, you need to identify and
find the opportunity that we're going to take advantage of.
yes. Even if that's as simple as, I don't know, challenging one of the sitting lords to an honor duel to open his seat up.
Oh, there are
I
sitting.
got a chop off his head. It's fine.
I know you can't see it, but I'm looking at Kelsa's camera because I keep saying honor duel while looking at Kelsa, just hoping that as the only member of the party who might actually honor duel, she might honor duel somebody tonight.
I mean,
I'm really curious to
I'm
see the duel system
smiling
play
behind
out.
my hand for what that's worth.
You could just poison your bullets too. Go full Odalys.
I mean, so Daisy is specifically very different than Odalys, and
I know.
she would never resort to poison and would be very upset if someone else
Really?
did.
Really?
But I mean, setting up a date and then murdering a dude in, on a grassy knoll, that's totes fine.
So, are we ready to start
the
the first
grassy
scene
knolls.
here?
Cool.
I mean, SciFri's dead forever.
No, SciFri is definitely alive.
I'm
So,
here.
Okay. Yeah,
Brought
we're
him
ready.
I think we open with our group here, House damn it, House Beaumont,
We live in a house.
and
Beaumont's
their
boys.
retainers
Beaumont's boys, yeah.
traveling down the canal system that pervades the entirety of this wonderful city. And you step off of your canal boat right in front of like the community center they're using for the party. And when I say community center, I'm not saying like they play basketball there. This place is specifically designed for like open balls.
The
Since
basketball is my favorite sport.
Yeah.
dancing is a very
With
important
a
part
dribble
of
up and down the
culture in Mistborn. So yeah, as you approach, you hear the faint sounds of a band, including a string quartet, and some.
The imagery I have is in my head is like the level from Dishonored where you go into the ball. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very muted. It's not as regal as we would have seen in Mistborn Era 1. It's very Victorian era, kind of buttoned down, but still there's a lot of money on display here.
Yeah.
But it's
totally.
not bright colors and all that.
Right.
It's more the style of dress and the sharpness of the suit cut.
It's
and
the
it
kind of Victorian that the American West tries
Yeah.
to do.
And
Yeah.
then like I'd assume like rather than like because like the big thing with Mistborn was like the stained glass shit,
Yes.
and so like with this I assume it'd be more like statues and like paintings
Yeah.
and stuff.
The really important thing at this party is who is wearing something for the first time. Whose dress or whose suit is completely new and who's re-wearing something. And that's the talk on all the servants as you approach the front of the ball.
I'm being forced to wear something new.
And I think Daisy is as well because she didn't bring any of her dresses with her. So like,
I brought your dresses, dear.
when did you bring my dresses? That's awkward.
When you were like, I'm coming out to visit, I was like, Desha, pick up her dresses. She's not going to do it herself.
Well, to be fair, none of them have seen these dresses because they've only ever been worn in Ellendale, but
Bam.
Yeah.
I still try to wear one that I've not worn. So
I
much
have a
before.
piece of equipment for this.
So,
Oh.
it would be called a herald for us, but it's called announcer in Mistborn. The announcer stops you at the front door and says, "My lords, can I see your invitation?" I see.
That was an
It-
actual wedding invitation. I just
A Mr. Dixon
Nice.
Beaumont, Daisy Beaumont, and accompanying. I'm sorry, is this Flint Carson?
Yes.
No.
Would you have Desha go come in like as a guest of the party, or be like go in with the servants and be a servant?
You're both coming as my bodyguards
Okay.
and servants.
Damn dress.
So,
I like the idea of he says, "This is Flint. Is this Flint Carson?" Beaumont says yes. Flint Carson says no.
so
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
He kind of nods sagely as if he knows what's going on and announces, a Mr. Dixon Beaumont escorting Miss Daisy Beaumont. And as you enter, he grabs Flint's arm. Now, you're super fast. I don't know if you want to pull away from this.
No, if he
Don't make
wasn't
waves.
expecting it, he's not gonna.
All right.
Well, he is reckless. I don't know, and has a dramatic flair. So
He pulls out a piece of
Yeah.
paper and a pen and says, my boy very much enjoys your serialization in the newspapers. Is there any chance I could get your autograph, Mr. Carson?
You've been serialized in the newspapers. What has Daryl done?
yeah, he sort of clears his throat. He's like, sure. Hand me a pen.
He hands you a pen.
So you see in the most like awful chicken scratch handwriting you've ever seen, Flint Carson.
So, yeah, he takes it and stuffs it into his breast pocket and says, thank you very much. And then, like, waves the next group forward. And Desha, as you go past him, he turns and says, the servants' table is over there.
Okay. I'm going with them.
Does Flint Carson overhear that?
Yeah.
It's just he looks at it, he like snaps his fingers so the like doorman looks at him, he's like, she's with me, hand signals.
Of course, my lord. I didn't realize she was your date.
No.
Yep. Of course, I'll never bring servants that aren't going to have a good time.
But yeah, all right. So whatever.
All
Let
right.
him think what he
So,
wants to.
as you enter the dance hall, the party is already well underway.
Mhm.
It's very clear that the McFannies are not attending.
Of course not.
That's
This
the
is
talk on everybody's tongue, is that the McFannies aren't here, and that there's some new city slicker from Elendil that's come in who's going to be giving the honor speech. And when they, like when you come in, a lot of people stop dancing and kind of clap politely when you begin coming down the staircase into the ballroom area. And the band stops playing briefly for about 10 seconds. And everyone's eyes are on you, Dixie and Daisy.
Am I expected to give a speech right now?
No,
or what's the...
no. They're just, welcoming you here, a Lendelian.
So
Daisy
I'm...
flips out her fan.
Yeah, so Daisy makes a good show of being my sister, and then I sort of step out just a little bit in front and say, Ma, what a lovely party you all have assembled here. I scarcely remember the last time I've seen something so grand. Thank you very much for making us feel like we are enjoying ourselves to the height of possibility this evening, and I look forward to meeting each and every one of you.
So, as you're talking, it becomes clear about halfway through that people weren't really expecting you to give a little short line there. And so the band is like ready to play. But they're holding in place. And it looks like some power players in the room are sending somebody over to talk to you.
Yeah, I think like as Daisy notices this, she like snaps her fan shut and like smacks Dixon on the arm once. And then just heads on down while he's still speechifying.
Oh, it generates quite a
Literally.
bit of laughter throughout the room.
I literally did one line.
I know.
And it's not overplayed.
I know. But they have sent over a terrace steward, a young man, who, passes Daisy and goes directly for Dixon. How do you feel about that, Daisy?
Well, he's a steward, so why would I waste my time?
All right. Desha Flint, as you're coming in, there's like an unknown person rapidly approaching Dixon at moderate to high speed.
Well, I mean, I feel like while they're giving like the two in front, the noble instruction, Flint Carson is stalking down the like entryway like an animal, looking at everyone like fucking clapping. Like, what are you doing? You trying to you insulting me?
He flips out his cape and puts his hand on his gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Desha do keep Mr. Carson under control this evening.
So
if
the
he
steward
presses Q,
stops.
there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, the steward stops in front of you and says, "My lord, I'm sorry. Did you say Carson, as in Flint Carson?"
Yes, that's Mr. Carson.
I see. We're honored to have such a prestigious guest with us.
I look down and see that Daisy's like moving somewhere else, and so I'll watch Miss Beaumont
Thank you, Desha.
to go down and.
Wes, do I overhear that conversation?
Oh yes, I mean it's happening right in front of you.
His facial expression goes from like a curious like scanning to like, are these guys for real?
I love how Dixon is repeatedly introducing you. It's amazing.
Flint Carson. Did I say Flint Carson? Flint Carson is here.
Like, he's just like, are these guys like what? Is this a prank?
Are you real?
Mr.
How
Carson,
did our memes feel?
I welcome you here tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
I believe that your speech will begin in about 10 cycles.
Excellent.
What is
Looking forward to it.
How long
Minutes.
is the cycle? Is this Tron?
Minutes.
Okay.
No, it's hours. It's literally 10 hours until he gives the opening speech.
I mean, cycles could
Like,
also be
it's a
like
week?
5 minutes or something. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
the
true.
fantasy
It could
setting.
be-
It could be
It's
anything.
going to
I
be
mean,
10 beats from now. How about that?
10 time units.
Beats are set at 1 minute at this time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, well, thank you very much for letting me know. Yes, perhaps you could help me out here. Mr. Carson's reputation seems to precede him this evening. Exactly, why is he prestigious these days?
My lord, do you understand they say every man knows every other man's reputation except his own?
Yes, of course. I don't know Mr. Carson's, and I'm not Mr. Carson.
It would be uncouth for me to repeat any rumors I've heard.
Hmm.
If you'll excuse me, please.
Of course. Have a lovely evening.
So,
I think Flint Carson, he like yells as he's walking away. He's like, "If you hear any rumors in the paper, only believe the good ones."
I'm curious if either of you are suspicious about him, right?
I mean, that
It
was pretty
sounds like
suspicious.
Flint is very accepting of him and just is pissed off.
I mean, he doesn't seem like he wants a fight. So Flint.
No, he was pretty suspicious. That entire interaction was unnecessary.
I mean, Flint Carson isn't a social guy. He's just like, if you're gonna fist fight me, then that's it makes you a threat. If not, then you're not a threat, and you're cool in my book.
The answer is yes. I'm suspicious.
Why don't you go ahead and make a wits roll
Sure.
versus contest difficulty 2.
So I'm not sure of the nature of this. So, what sort of traits do you think I can call on here?
I mean, you during that conversation, civilized is certainly one you can call upon.
And since I'm suspicious of him, like, is conniving
Yep.
valid?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think those are 2 valid things to say.
They're just looking to get a pair of 2s or better.
I mean, yeah, and also Luckomancer. So I'm gonna need to Luckomancer because I had literally a perfect spread.
Wow.
Yahtzee.
Which ones do you want to re-roll?
Wow.
I would recommend that you keep the 5
Keep
and
the
just
6.
And re-roll the 4-3-2s.
I would
I'm
say
actually gonna re-roll the 6 too. Like I need to get a pair to win. I don't care about
Come on, the
Okay.
nutch. I mean, that's true.
it.
Winning is more important.
So I'm keeping the 5 to be clear.
Hey.
All right, pair of 5.
Nice.
did
Okay.
it.
Yeah. All right. So you definitely crush this. You're gonna get complications for this. You get to throw complications at him during the process, which is something I keep finding people that are telling me how to do the rules correctly, and I think I finally reached perfect rules knowledge after talking to someone.
Okay.
All right. Shake your head at me all you want.
I'm not shaking my head. I'm just saying like this is
No,
a
it's
big
Kelsa.
bold
Kelsa.
claim.
He's
It's a bold
reached.
claim.
He's reached.
I-
his rules now.
Rule of honor.
To be honest, I have not reread the rules
Okay.
well enough or often enough. We'll see.
You
I try
are
to
you,
avoid
you
reading
win by
rules
3
as much
steps,
as
so you get
possible.
to throw 3 complications out there. You catch him smug smirking, like Dick Cheney smirking as he's turning. It's very clear to you that this steward has garnered more information from you than he expected, and is now on his way to report to his masters. And it's almost certainly going to be about Flint Carson.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not like I can't stop him.
But you not only did you not notice, you didn't even make a roll. Like,
I mean, that's true. But if Mr. Beaumont's
Go
like,
break
"That
his
man's
neck.
just-
why don't you just kill him on the middle of the dance floor before he could get 20 feet?
I'll run out there and choke slam him.
So I noticed this, and I get to throw 3 complications at him.
Mhm.
But I'm sort of help me out here. What sort of complications are sort of relevant in this situation? Because I can't just say like, and he forgets everything. You
I
know?
mean, he could lose
Wrong
something
impression,
on his
like,
way
or-
back. He could definitely have an accident, like trip into a server or something and get food
Okay,
splashed
so
on him.
one complication is on his way back, something happens, and he embarrasses his master in the process.
It wouldn't be embarrassing his master; it'd be embarrassing himself. But slowing him down and preventing him from getting back to whoever he's reporting to could buy you some time.
The thing is, in our interaction, I didn't say anything that I care about. Like all I said
Okay.
was, I don't know
All right.
Mr. Carson.
I mean, as long as you don't care.
Could a complication be like that he got the wrong impression about something?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
so let's say that he got the wrong impression about the situation. Like hilariously wrong. Let's also say that maybe not only did he get the wrong impression about his information, but he got the wrong impression about me, and that he thinks he got so much information out of me that maybe he goes back to his master and says this sort of thing like, oh, you know, you could really work one over on Mr. Beaumont. Like, and that gives me an opening to interact with that person. You know, to be underestimated, right?
Yeah. So
I don't really know how to phrase that.
Yeah, that
You're
works.
setting
Yeah,
up
got it.
a future attacker to intentionally overextend.
Yeah, basically underestimate me. Like, oh man, he just started saying things. What a fool! La la la. It's all
Sure.
money, no sense. And third, and yeah, let's have the embarrassing thing happen because I don't know what else to do with the complications in this situation. So wrong impression of the information, wrong
Yeah.
impression of me, and is embarrassed on the way back.
All right, let's cut over to Daisy and Disha. What are you doing up until the speechifying starts?
I caught up to her and then I'm just kind of following her, just keep being security for her basically.
Well, I know the best way to find a dance partner is at the punch bowl. So that's where I'm going.
Okay. And you are attempting to find a dance partner while you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Because dancing with someone is absolutely one of the best ways to get political information. So you go out there, you have your little dance, and you have your dance of words at the same time. It's definitely how things
Yeah.
get happening.
We get the scene from Inquisition.
So, Inquisition. Oh, man, that dance party was amazing.
It was a good one.
So good. I mean, you get to go on a date with Josephine at the end, so I mean, what could be better? So there is a very out of place fellow at the punch bowl who's got a gold-plated belt buckle and a
Does it
duster.
Say
say
bam?
bam?
He's got a no, show your shit. He's got a Mistborn duster, so it's a duster that halfway down
Oh yeah, those-
turns into leather tassels.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 huge chrome guns on his belt. In fact, they look a lot like
Damn.
your Tarangle 27s.
Damn.
And he's currently pouring out a platinum-plated flask into the punch bowl.
Spiking the punch.
He turns
Okay.
towards you. He's got a eye patch on, and he looks a lot like God. What is that guy's name? The dude who plays Sawyer on Lost. Sawyer on Lost.
So
His
there's
name
like a
is,
long pointy goatee that he's
Josh Holloway. So he's got like dirty blonde hair and
Kind of
goatee.
scruffy looking.
Yeah, he's very scruffy looking, especially with the eye patch.
Is
And
he
it
a
says-
nerf herder?
No.
No good scruffy looking nerf herder.
Now, can I help you, miss?
So yeah, like I'm watching him pour that out into the punch bowl, and
Just a little whiskey. Lighten up
Yeah.
the party a bit. It's to be expected. Someone has to do it.
yeah, she kind of smiles, and says, "Well, I'm glad that I caught you at it, so I don't have to add my own." And she taps something in her pocket, but she doesn't pull it out.
Well, he holds his flask out to like bump flasks with you.
Darn, caught in the bluff.
Yeah, she obviously
Okay.
her.
It would
All
be
right.
proper
He
of a lady back when
embarrassingly
he did.
kind of pulls it back and is just like, "Well, that was a little gouge." And he says, "The name's Lord Kinley." I'm sorry. I think I changed accents. Name's Lord Kinley.
And Daisy prefers her hand. Daisy Beaumont at your service.
Formerly of House Beaumont back in Elendil.
That's right.
So yeah, he
That's
leans
nice
over
of
to
me.
kiss your hand, and he's totally giving you the sexy time eyes. My lady, do you
And
happen?
I'm giving him the watch your hands eyes.
Okay, he doesn't even know you're there. My
Mhm.
lady, do you have anyone on
I
your
mean,
dance
how
card? so far?
old is he?
He's
I
about
mean-
like 30s, early 30s.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, he's so old.
Yeah, I know, so old,
Ugh.
but maybe a little charming.
I don't know. He's gonna be a lot charming to 30. Oof. Okay.
I don't suppose you have your dance card punched in yet.
Yeah, so she'll produce her dance card and says, "Well, you're lucky enough to be the first."
You can write down Lord Peter McKinley in the first spot.
All right, she smiles and
Get that, P. Rattling Pete McKinley. I'll kill that son of a bitch.
Yes, she smiles politely and writes it down, and then pours herself a glass of spiked punch.
Okay. It tastes a lot like whiskey and not a lot like watermelon.
You put that much whiskey in it?
Yeah, you put a lot of whiskey in it.
Damn.
I think you muted yourself.
Thought I unmuted it, but I muted it again. So she smiles at him, like after she tastes it for a second, and she realizes how strong it is, and then she kind of gives him like a little nod of respect, and then she'll drink it again. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Okay, listen. I'm going to try to make this as creepy as possible. So what he does is he walks away and he fluffs his miscoat tassels so that it parts perfectly in a V in the back so you can see his tight pants as he walks away. Boom. He knows how to do this.
All right. Yeah, I think Daisy turns to Daisha, drinking her very much whiskey and a little bit of punch, and says, "Well, I suppose he ain't that bad looking for someone as old as he is."
How old are you, Desha?
17.
Dash is
Not Desha,
24.
sorry. Thought you said Daisy. There we go.
Dash is 24.
Flint Carson is only 20. He's a young man. Strapping.
I think he was actually the oldest.
I'm 25.
Damn.
Oh, my bad.
Wait, how old did I say I was?
I don't even know. We
I didn't
talked
even write
about
it
this a
down.
lot, and I don't remember.
I did write it down somewhere.
25 sounds right.
Yeah,
I
like
when you guys talking about that.
well, right, because we were trying to figure out like in
That's
that
the differences.
yeah, in that
Um,
era, I would be in this part of my career, which is what I
Mhm.
meant. Like I have moved beyond my father's holdings, and I'm starting my own career in Trumadil.
Yeah, you're an upstart.
Yeah, 25 would be the age that I would be doing that.
Oh yeah, so she says that, and then like he's kind of walking away. She watches him walk away, and then looks back, and then, what if someone doesn't want whiskey in their punch? That seems rude.
And Daisy looks bewildered and is like, well, why wouldn't you want whiskey in your punch?
If you don't want to drink, I don't know. These aren't my type of things.
Well, that sounds like you definitely need whiskey in your punch then, Desha. Here, have a glass, maybe two.
She'll take one. It probably takes a lot for her to get drunk, so she can probably have like a couple and still be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Are we ready to speechify, or perhaps Flint Carson, you got something you want to do? When you spot that old cuss, the man formerly known as Rattling Pete McKinley.
That snake in the grass.
Yeah,
Do
I think there's this perfect moment where
I've had
the music
a
stops.
feud with him that literally cost me everything, so I'd recognize his face anywhere.
Yeah, he's right in the center of the ballroom, cutting
Did he poison
through
the water hole?
dancers like an asshole. And he gets spotlighted by light coming off of the glass. And you notice him passing through the area. And maybe there's like a brief sound of people screaming in the background in like a flashbacky way that we don't go into the flashback.
You hear like the distant sounds of a fire. Yeah, like, and Flint Carson just like clenches his fist like knuckle.
He's looking like he's got a lot more money now.
Yeah, he's definitely gone past being moved up in the world from the bandit Pete McKinley that I knew.
Pete McKinley, you bastard.
Yeah, I feel like he walks.
Did he put a snake in your boot?
Yeah. And I feel like I get like right in front of him, like I hold my hand up to stop, and that's my opening line. I'm like, Rattling Pete McKinley, you bastard.
I'm sorry, who are you? I don't suppose you're the legendary coward. God damn it, I keep borrowing other people's accents. I don't suppose you're the legendary coward Flint Carson. I'd challenge you to a duel right now if I was Rattling Pete McKinley, the outlaw. But I think you'd run away. Now get your hands off me. I'm Lord Peter McKinley.
I'd recognize your face anywhere, Rattling Pete. You cost me everything I own. Before your boys came around, I used to have a stable life, a family. I didn't have to resort to smuggling
He
and scheming
slaps
to
you
get
in the
by.
face with a white glove. Well, sir, I believe that I'm challenging you to an honor duel. Do you accept?
I believe I'm about to shoot you right here.
Oh, man.
So when you say that, like, several people with, like, shields, like literal riot shields made of iron, were like leaning against the wall, and now they're moving forward, and you can see some of the silverware near them is starting to vibrate.
Can I give a meaningful PC look towards Mr. Carson in the background?
My question is, Mr. Carson, are you so bloodlusted deadlocked on this guy?
He is recklessly tunnel visioned.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
No, please, no.
Recklessly.
And he's
Recklessly tunnel visioned.
You get slapped again in the face by Lord Peter McKinley, and this time it's not even the glove. It's literally like an open hand slap. And he's like, I say again, Mr. Carson, I challenge you to an honor duel.
Please
If you draw steel on me right now, I'll wreck you, fool. But perhaps if we step outside, we can have ourselves a nice fair duel.
So he just sort of stands up. He rubs off like the slab wood off his cheek. He's like, never known you to fight fair before.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
I accept your duel.
Excellent.
Give me my iron.
All right. And so someone comes out to officiate and is like, Gentlemen, my name is Lord Arental Set. Lord McKinley, good to see you again. Mr. Carson, I understand that you are accepting this duel. Perhaps you can wait until the festivities have commenced. When Mr. Beaumont gives his speech, we can use that, the finishing point of that speech, to be the beginning of the duel when you will both draw steel. Do you agree to this?
What are the terms of this duel? Are there any restrictions?
I
Any rules
believe
need
most
following?
duels are fought to the death, sir.
No holds barred.
Steel on steel.
He gives a sort of shit-eating grin when you say steel on steel. Yeah, so he's like, I accept. I will duel Pete McKinley.
All right.
After the speech.
Well, Dixon, does the camera pan over to you now that
This stinks to high heaven.
doesn't it though?
I don't believe that this guy is willing to duel Carson fair and square. So I'm gonna get up on the podium, and I'm
Gonna filibuster.
going to filibuster.
Do
I have
like
here letters sent in from the people.
it's
I'll read each. Anyway,
like that one episode of Parks
no,
and Rec, you just
I'm
filibuster
going to-
for 4 hours.
so
Everyone-
here is what I
Talking about Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars. Yeah, I love that episode.
and it's Chewbacca. He's been all robotified. Anyway, I'm going to. I would like to make some sort of roll here, Arthur, perhaps a luck roll, to see if I can identify if this guy, like, I'm going to get up on a podium and a speech and look around, and while I'm giving the speech, I'm going to try and see if this guy's going to cheat somehow. I want to see if it's going to be fair.
I think that would be wits for the most part.
Sure, I'm fine making whatever type of roll you want to make it.
But let's take a look at what you can do with spirit before I say no.
Okay.
249. I mean, you're saying luck roll, but what you really mean is spirit.
Spirit. Yep.
You can request a hit, catch a lucky break. You don't need to survive against the odds, and you also don't need to make a latch dice effort, which you can't even do anyway. You can catch a lucky break, so technically you could do the reverse of what you're looking for. You could turn it into him cheating, right? You could tell me he's cheating and I can see how he's going to do it.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But then we'll catch him at it. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, not good if it costs me my life before he's done cheating, but
I'm struggling to think of how you even cheat in this situation.
If you
Like-
succeed at this, I have something I can suggest.
All right. So why don't we make the roll?
Okay,
And then
it's going to
we
be
can-
difficulty 3 because it's going to have to be pretty significant for him to get away with cheating in front of all these people, right?
Right. So, the good
And
news is,
I want to
I mean,
suggest,
there's a
like, your
Mistborn.
complications are you get so distracted during the speech that you like totally fail it.
yeah, of course.
Okay.
So, let's talk about some
You
things.
spend a spirit, dropping you down to 2
Right.
dice next time.
Yep. Hold on a second. I can also give myself more dice with chromium. And
Chromium.
I can reroll.
So let's set up the situation. Break us off a little piece of that speech.
Yeah, so why don't we give, like, I'll first half the speech, then I'll roll, and then I'll, like, second half the speech for the resolution. So, ladies and gentlemen of Trumadill, I and the Beaumont family are honored by your party. But it's not about me, and it's not about us. This party is about the McFanny family that's been in Trumadill for generations. They're leaving us and this fine city just as I'm joining you, for greener pastures, for a well-deserved retirement after years of community involvement and betterment of the area. The McFanny family has earned their place in Ellendale, where they will be seeking a future of education and political advancement. It is a well-deserved twilight to a storied history of an honored family. A testament to the stock of the people of Trumadill and what you can do when you set your mind to it. I've only been in Trumadill for a short time, but already I've been impressed by the character of the people and their capability. You're made of tougher stuff out here. A stronger alloy, an alloy that can bring us into the future. I believe that the future starts in Trumadill, and I'm excited to see this community come together to send away an ancient and storied family into that future. And it's at this point I've been looking around. I'm going to make the roll.
Okay. Pro tip to Rooster Castile in the chat, just destroying it.
All right, that's a pair of ones, but that's not the difficulty I needed to make. What was the difficulty I needed to make?
3.
All right, so I'll re-roll.
How much are you re-rolling?
Keep
The 4 that I can do. I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to re-roll the 1s and the 2. And I guess I'm going to re-roll the 6 too, because 6s can't give me a victory.
5, 4, 3.
So I have 5, 4, 3.
All right.
All right, pair of 3s.
Pair of threes.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, so what you do catch is he's tucking his shirt in, Lord Peter McKinley, and you do catch that he's wearing like armored metal plate beneath his shirt.
He's wearing a wire.
So,
Oh, shit.
you've heard of this. It's something that lurchers do. They'll draw bullets toward the plate so that it hits that and not them, so they don't take any, mortal wounds. So even if, for instance, your good friend here, Flint Carson, was shooting for the head, the bullet would end up hitting the plate and just
In the
deflecting
armor
off.
plate. Now, is that considered cheating?
It's enough of a thing that if you called him out on it, he'd probably have to take it off. And it would probably be a serious concern of several more, honorable duelists. It will be an embarrassment if you call him on it, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when the juxtaposition of Flint Carson not having something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I want to do, AP. Let me know if there's something that can make this happen. We've sort of set this up as they're sitting there, like in front of the podium, ready to do the honor duel, right?
Mhm.
Like, and my final word on the speech will initiate the duel. Could I make it like I'm willing to call him out on it, but could I do something where like I accidentally knock my drink off the podium and it just drenches him so you can see the armor plating underneath?
I mean, I'm assuming there's still like dual.
I love that.
Would go like it's not just like last word of the speech is fire.
That's kind of what they said.
No,
fair,
I mean, yeah, you knock your drink off of the podium as he's passing underneath.
So it's sort of like and this fair city, dink, and then splash and soak.
So, yeah, several people gasp, mostly just at how clumsy you are.
Oh my!
but-
I apologize.
Do I
very
being on the
boisterous.
ground? Do I see the like metal plate?
Yeah, you do. And Arental Set, the like duel keeper, has come forward and is grabbing McKinley's arm and dragging him away with some particularly harsh sounding words.
Yeah. And so Flint Carson just yells like out in the crowd. Is like, Rattling Pete McKinley, you no good dirty cheat. You were wearing a metal plate all along because you're a filthy lurcher.
So, I mean, when you say that, the steward from the front, the announcer, is like, Mr. Carson, I must ask you to keep your voice down during the speech.
I rightly apologize.
And don't we have here a testament to the character of the people of Trumadill that you know how to settle your differences in a civilized manner? Isn't this just a perfect example of how the people of Trumadill are made of harder stuff, that they will match skills and wits in a battle of honor to determine who is or is not a liar or a coward. I can think of no better example or any fancier words to say than to simply throw it away to this duel between champions and see who comes out on top. The very act of it will be as telling of the nature of where we are and the time we live in than anything I could say. And I'll like sort of put a point on that and step down from the podium.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to have a conversation with Flint Carson for the last time, now
no,
Daisy
Brandon
runs up.
McKinley has been exposed as the cheat that he is, and now you're going to shoot him dead in the middle of the.
that would be the most
Assassinate.
westernly poetic thing to happen.
So it's not going to be the assassination of Flint Carson by the coward Pete McKinley.
Yeah, that's the headline.
I mean, think of it this way.
Lord Kinley once more triumphs over yellow belly coward Flint Carson. That's what I mean.
Either way, whoever dies, you can swap the names around. It still works. You can still make the movie poster
I've set
too.
you up to prove you're not a coward by winning. Like I put that in the speech.
So yeah,
Well,
does anyone
they
want to
told
talk
me
to
it's
Flint
no
real
good.
quick?
Yeah, I think Daisy is going to run up to Flint and like tug on his shirt, you know, as you do.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh my goodness, I heard you were gonna be in a duel. Did you even bring your well, of course you did, never mind."
So he's just like, you heard right.
Don't die. That wouldn't be good.
I don't rightly intend to.
Okay, good.
I mean, Beaumont's stepping down from the podium, like shaking hands, like well, like he can't
I'm
come over.
wondering if any of the party goers like come up to Flint Carson. Like after that big
You know what?
spectacle.
No, they're all shuffling outside, preparing to watch this duel.
Yeah, they gotta get to a safe distance, I imagine.
Yeah. I think Daisy's like, I'm
I
gonna
just kind of want one guy in the crowd to be like, "Woo, you get him!"
I mean, that's certainly a level 1 spirit roll if you wanted to roll on that.
You know, yeah, I'll roll my spirit to see if the crowd favors me.
So you spend 1 point of spirit, and
Yep.
you need to make a difficulty 1 check. You certainly have 4
That
dice.
shouldn't be a problem.
I think dramatic flair will definitely work
Yeah,
for you on
dramatic
that.
flair.
Yeah.
Can I call on reckless?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I yelled in the middle of a speech. So yeah, this is spirit roll to decide whether the crowd favors Flint Carson to win this duel. Rolling the dice. Come on, roll 20.
Whoa.
Threes and a nudge.
There we go.
Yeah, so several young bravos clap and are like, Flint Carson! Yeah!
Do I get to spend that nudge on anything?
Yeah. Let's look what you can get.
I had an idea on something to spend it on. You tell me if this works for
Each nudge allows you to add 1 new detail caused by the first change.
Oh, sweet. So
So,
the detail
yeah,
I
you
wanna
can
add is
cascade.
that, like of all like the there's young bravado types that are like, yeah, Flint Carson, go. I want like one of like the higher up, like big wig nobles, like at least one to just be like, that Flint Carson's mighty fine. Pretty all right.
I think one matronly woman dressed in an Alrian set pink. Her dress is very muted, but in shape and form, but it's extremely pink. And she comes up to you and puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Now, excuse me, I'm Lady Sarah Ralston, and I support your duel against that horrible boar, Lord Pete McKinley. The man has made several passes at both myself and my daughters, and if you could just shoot him dead, I would be very much appreciative."
So he like sort of bows his head. He's like, rightly thank you, ma'am. My feud with Mr. McKinley is quite personal, but if I can resolve your issues with this duel, all the better. The world would benefit greatly from seeing Pete McKinley out of action.
Excellent. And then she slaps you on the ass and pushes you out the door in front of her.
You said Alrian set pink. Is that a thing that I would recognize?
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, there's several canisters of Alrian set pink paint in every paint shop.
Yeah.
It's a
Like,
very
it's
specific
not-
hex
it's
code,
not
you
just-
know.
That's the slogan. It's not just pink. It's already.
You know, it's probably like FF0026 or something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Let's do a
color that
duel.
actually is. That's probably not
They're
correct.
thirsty for blood, not color code jokes.
Desha is very interested in colors.
Give
After all, she
people what they want.
did name her fists Prussian blue and yellow ochre.
Wow, actually
Here's the-
FF0026 is red, so yeah, I'll take it.
Here's the thing.
It's not pink, but
Like, the duel, it's not high noon, but it's midnight.
it's not midnight, it's evening. There was sunlight out earlier.
It's high noon somewhere in the world. Jesus.
Is there a tumbleweed that crosses through the path? As
No,
someone in the
it's
background
literally
goes,
you're in a
"Oh!"
park. You're in a green manicured lawn park in front of a canal. There's
No, but a
plenty
bunch
of
of doves
water.
take off, right?
Yeah, bunch of dumb John Woo style.
Of
like,
course, I'll accept doves. So,
I will allow it.
Lord Set comes over to you, Flint, and says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Carson, I would like to put my hands upon you. I am what is known in the business as a leecher. I will be removing all traces of alchemical taint from your body. And if I might ask that you remove any ferrochemically charged metals from yourself, we will have a clean duel with only the pistols. Do you accept?"
So allomancy and ferrochemy are out of the question.
If you wish it to be. I am somewhat concerned at the actions of Lord Kinley.
No, definitely. He's a Mistborn. He has more powers than me, and
I
he's
mean,
gonna
he's not an actual Mistborn.
Oh.
There are no Mistborns.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then in that case, it's just like.
He's just
Yeah.
a lurcher, which he wasn't
Right.
the last time you fought him.
But didn't
Oh,
you?
he snapped.
If I remembered a detail, didn't you say that the people around here didn't take to lurchers that much?
That's true.
Yeah, so that was like why I like yelled at him like, "You know, good filthy lurcher."
Yeah.
Uh,
Weird how all those things come together like that.
yeah.
It's so weird.
It's
Yeah,
weird that there's
it's
this
real.
one noble that no one likes.
Yeah, he's just like he's like, you can empty all my ferrochemy charge. You might want to double check him though, make sure he's not slipping any metals in.
So yeah, he pats you down, and as soon as he touches you, any allomantic metals you have inside of you that you drank earlier are gone.
Yeah,
reduced
like
to zero.
you just like
He removes your vials.
my twin-born kid. I hand him it over.
Okay, all right, and it's just gun on gun. So as the two of you stand and look at each other across the way,
Yeah.
Lord Set says, "I don't suppose there's any chance you two gentlemen can be resolved to solve this conflict in any way other than with the gun."
So Flint Carson crosses his arms and he's like, I used to have a nice life before Rattling Pete McKinley and his boys tore up everything I knew. There's nothing more I'd like to see than a bullet in his head.
And Lord Kinley says, "Now, I don't exactly know who this Flint Carson fellow is other than from the newspapers, but my understanding he's a right proper coward. We should just run him out of town. Show
Are you
him how we
assessing him?
deal with wastelander folk."
Ain't much of a coward if he's in an honor duel.
So when he hears that, he's like, oh, I know rightly how you deal with Wastelander folk, Rattling Pete.
Enough talk. Let's draw. And I think at that, maybe you both drop into a crouch and go for
Yeah,
your gun.
exactly. He
Okay.
puts his hand to his gun. Like,
All right. So in a pistol
I'm
honor
glad that
duel,
my speciality is quick on the draw.
unfortunately, you don't get to use any traits during these rolls.
What? You said there were no rule restrictions.
I mean, I'm telling you literally what's straight out of the book. And what's even worse is you have to use the lower of your wits or your physique.
They're both 4.
Okay.
Good thing they're the same.
For him, he has the quick draw stunt, so he gets to use the higher of his 2.
Where are
So,
the rules for honor
They are
duels?
on page 136.
All right, so here's the thing. This is one of those extended conflicts, right?
It is not a
different?
conflict. It is a
All right.
contest.
Okay.
There's a very good chance this could end without somebody dying unless both sides decide to up the draw ridiculously high.
Let's see. Yeah, I see him. I'm looking at the duel page. There's an alternative rule here that says shoot him, scare him, or shame him.
I'm not big on that rule.
Yeah.
But it's in the book.
I mean, it's an alternative rule.
Yeah, it's an alt rule.
No.
Let's see.
Alternative.
Pistols can have in conflict to participate lower his wits. Winner of the contest can choose either.
You can end the duel and not get shot. Okay, so here are the 3 choices. End the duel and not get shot, continue the duel and up your future damage, or both of you take shots at each other. You'll almost certainly win. You'll almost certainly hit as you roll, and you deal damage to each other.
All right, well, let me get my dice up here. No
Okay,
trick.
so he is rolling 5 dice, and it sounds like you're rolling 4.
Well, I've always been in an uphill battle. I work best when I'm against the wall.
I went to the pair of 2s.
Pair of
Come
2.
on, probability. Go, gadget probability.
Luckomancer.
Pair 6. But that doesn't count.
No.
Pair of 6s do nothing.
All right. So he chooses to
Who
continue.
designed this system?
He
Pair
chooses-
6 should count.
He chooses to continue the duel and add +1 damage to his future shot. So let's describe this narratively. Like, he goes for his gun and maybe frightens you into it. I don't know, but either way, he definitely psychs you out somehow. How does this happen?
Yeah. He does like the quick reach, like he's gonna draw it, but he fakes it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, I literally have my Nerf pistol like just out of my reach. I'm going to be like, ha!
I mean, if you get shot dead in the street, the only person it hurts is yourself.
Yeah.
Alright.
We start the next round.
Next round, same rolls.
Round 2.
Round 2, fight.
Triple
Here,
2s.
choose again. Come on, give me something good. Nothing.
He
You have
chooses
4 dice. It's not enough dice.
to continue
He has
into
5,
the
it's
next
only
round,
1.
adding +2 to his future damage.
You should have chosen to have still using Allomancy and Ferrochemy.
Yeah, well, I don't know what like his powers are. Well, like I know he's a lurcher, but I don't know how much he can use that.
I
effectively.
mean, you would shoot at him and he would deflect the bullet somewhere
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
He would still lose the duel, but he wouldn't be dead.
like I'd have to go. I'd have to
Got
go
lurched.
like as
Leeched.
like fast enough for him to not know where the bullets were coming from, and like that could be a problem.
Kelsey,
I
you
mean-
had something?
Didn't he also get leached by the
Yeah, they both got leashed.
Yeah.
And they both
That
were
was
stripped.
SciFri's choice, though. This could have
Yeah.
been a fight with Allomancy.
Oh,
But,
okay.
But I knew like if Flint Carson goes full out Elemency, there's gonna be collateral.
Yeah, like this guy's got 5 physique and Flint Carson's got 4. So just statistically, he literally can't win.
Unless I get really lucky.
I mean, if you had Ferrochemy, you could bump your physique up for quick reactions and dominate this. So that was actually a really bad choice for you. But
Yeah, I
it would have
don't know
also
why.
been super, super obvious that you were doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he's going to continue the duel for that +1 damage. So round
Alright.
3, paired 5s.
Oh my god.
Paired one.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why you are choosing to roll less dice against APGamingREAL, who has gotten a pair every single time, even though 5 dice is not enough
Look.
to statistically get a
So
pair
he
every
just
single time.
he's like he's got 2 guns, so he's like alternating which one he's going for, and maybe there's like a bead of sweat coming down your face,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, that's right, boy."
He like flickers, like just sort of bites his lip.
I wanna take a little bit of time to talk to the crowd right here. They've been standing around for, I don't know, probably about 30 seconds trying to psych each other out. What's up with all of you?
This is boring.
Daisy's hands are in the pockets of her dress, where there's a hole cut through the pocket to where her pistols are strapped to her thighs.
See, the thing is, if I had
She's just thinking.
10 advancements at this last one, I could have gotten the jinx ability that
Let you affect other people, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
so I
gosh.
could have just jinxed him, and like, there's no way to trace it back to me either. I can't wait to get that, but I didn't have 10.
Is there no other thing that goes into a duel? It's just straight rolling.
Just straight rolling.
Just fucking. What is the point of this?
I mean, obviously the point was to trick you into a duel where he thought he would win, and then win.
No, I mean like fucking. What is the point of these like duels narratively if it's just a rolling contest?
Well, I mean, so the
No
thing
traits,
is,
no
Just
complications.
rolling on
Yeah.
the-
could have
It's
just
all
chosen
you.
to take the shot on the first blow. You both would have shot each other and then walked away. Well, I mean, you would have missed because you didn't get a pair.
Yeah.
But now he's choosing to up the damage so that when he actually does shoot you, there's a fairly good chance you're going to die.
Okay, so right now, what is the situation?
We are now in the 4th round. His damage is increased plus
Yeah.
3, which means you're starting
Like-
to get into dangerous territory. You know he has a Triangle 27, which deals 1 damage on top of the one you already deal. So he's looking at plus 5. He's looking at 5 to
5
his damage
damage.
when he shoots.
And I have 7 health.
Yeah, so you can still go 1 more and not die. But that means you have to start to beat him over and over and over again. with
Yeah.
only one.
Or, if you win, you can choose to shoot, in which case you'll both take shots at each other. Or, you can end the duel and become a yellow belly coward. By just being like, nope, I'm out, fuck off. So,
The thing is, like I said, you've got 1 more time to take the bullet and
Fair
not
twos.
die.
What did he get? I didn't look. I
Triple
don't want to
twos.
look.
Pair
I don't want to
twos.
look. I'm
Pair
looking.
twos. There you
pair
go.
threes.
Run away.
What are you
Yellow
gonna
belly
do?
coward.
Do I use the
Does
nudge
a
for
nudge do
anything?
Does the nudge do anything now?
Nothing here.
God,
Okay.
Really?
I hate this.
Okay, so what can he do with his
Take
win?
a shot.
So,
Wait.
if you take the shot, you're both going to hit each other. Neither of you will be declared a winner. The duel will be over. Your honor duel will end, and you'll take a ton of damage.
But
He will take a
be
little bit
alive.
of damage, and you probably won't die from this.
yeah, I'll shoot.
Okay, all right. I believe your gun is
I
plus
don't.
2.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Narratively, I don't expect to beat my mortal enemy that is part of my character's tragedy on the first encounter.
If you now, here's the thing. I kind of fudged a little bit.
It's like when the
About
final
these-
boss shows up and you're supposed to lose to him the first
Yep.
time.
Yep, this is the first fight.
So, this is part of your tragedy. This is part of your first arc of your tragedy.
Yeah.
So, when you made your final roll, you didn't have 2 nudges, which means you're now stunned by the duel.
Well, you could have told him that.
Yeah, you could.
I only just remembered it. I thought, like, at the beginning of the session, but would it, let me ask, would
I
it have
mean,
made a difference? Would you have
I
tried to
don't,
keep
I
rolling
don't
until
want
you
to
had 2
continue
nudges?
the rolling. I
Okay,
want the rolling
so-
to stop.
All it's going to be narratively is like you technically win. You don't win the duel. You're not dead. But maybe Pete McKinley surprises you way more than you thought. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I'm nearly
You're
dead.
just like, this is like.
This
I
is
knew
like
him
when
as,
McKinley
Yeah,
left me dead
totally.
last time.
Like, yeah, it's like I knew him as a no good like rotten bandit, but like he's got skills.
yeah, he's got
Yeah.
skills now. So you are going to deal 3 points of damage to him, which he
Let's
has
see.
9
I got a
health.
pair of 3s and my gun has damage +2.
Yep. You are going to deal enough damage to
That the damage that gets accumulated is a pool, but it's just per side. Okay, never mind.
It's
I don't
per
know how to
side.
read these.
It's per side.
This is why you're the GM.
If
for this.
these rules are being interpreted incorrectly again, please contact us at
It's like,
Twitch.
the way I imagine it is
At
you
APGamingREAL.
have like two numbers basically, right? And your pairs will make your number go up, and then shooting
Yes.
is both the numbers go at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's not assembling a pool; it's just adding to a number.
You get to decide what kind of serious serious burden you're throwing on him, and he is throwing probably a really you take almost all of your damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
take
he's gonna throw a much more serious
5
one on
damage. I'm down to 2 health.
Damn.
I mean, I would say that the best burden that you could put on him in this situation, especially with the whole like he was going to cheat and be a lurcher and all that, you could just shame him publicly quite badly.
Let's see here. Is it?
Well, but here's the thing.
It's a physical burden when you.
Yeah, it's got to be a.
Actually, he makes a good point. This is an honor duel, so under the Mistborn rules, yeah, you could make this a burden
Could
of
insult
the
his
social
honor.
kind.
I mean, he wins the duel, but everyone was sort of rooting for him to lose, and now they're even more mad about how he was a cheating bastard.
I wouldn't
Like,
say everybody, but
like,
embarrassed or censured.
I made that spirit round to get like part of the crowd.
You got some people, but
Yeah.
Wreckage just said everyone.
Yeah.
Yes,
But, like,
censured is definitely a burden you could put on him, which would be something where he wouldn't be able to like go to town hall meetings or something. They'd literally be like, "Sir, we know that you were planning on using a metal plate. We're gonna put you in the timeout corner for a couple weeks until you can."
That's the burden.
You're in the penalty box.
Yeah, so you are giving him a social burden of serious that is censured. He's going to give you a physical burden because he definitely wants you to
shot in the fucking face.
Yeah, I mean, he wants you to die a horrible death.
He definitely does. Is this a grave burden?
It is, and he's going to give you a heart attack. You suffer a grave burden, massive system shock - heart attack. And so maybe oh god, that works so well.
Wait,
right?
Well, grave burdens don't go away after 2 long breathers. How am I constantly having a heart attack?
It's it can hit you and it's still like, oh man, my heart.
You're still, it's like, listen, you're still weak. You just had a heart attack.
Yeah, right after you get a heart attack,
month.
it's still effective.
So should I put grave burden recovering from shock?
I mean, it's massive system shock heart attack.
Okay.
So I think what happens is you both shoot each other, and he shoots you very close to your heart. And you're in shock, and that's representing the beat that you lose. And probably at some point, Set comes over to check on you because you're not moving, and he's like, by Kelsia, by the survivor, this man needs a doctor. I think he's having a heart attack.
You see, like,
He's
Flint
having
Cassidy,
palpitations.
like, he's got his hand, like, right on his chest, and, like, blood is seeping through his fingers.
Someone call the doctor, quickly.
Like, he's not moving, like, because he's still like, I want to do this duel.
Yeah, and I think that Daisy is, like, right next to Daisha and is like, Daisha, how can we help him? Oh my goodness.
How to make a wits roll to medicinize him?
Yeah, I don't think so.
How does one call for a doctor in this time period?
I mean, are you just going to be like, doctor?
Oh, just literally. Oh, okay, just literally. Is there a doctor here? Nope. Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna throw this one to probably Dixon, although any of you can make this roll technically.
What's happening?
I feel like a spirit roll would definitely be.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Yes.
Spirit.
Okay. I think that Daisy would do that. Like, she's
Let Daisy do it.
concerned, and she has pretty good spirit, so she's gonna call out.
I mean, sure, but I definitely can roll it better than you.
Wow.
You know what?
We still get to use our spirit too.
No, you know what? I don't actually. I care about Mr.
Roll
Carson.
your 2
but
dice. Go
I
right ahead.
Actually, it would be 5, but that's neither here nor there. And I can re-roll 4 of them because I'm a luckomancer.
I mean, after you spend this next point of spirit, you won't be able to spend any more.
And importantly, I am pretending not to care. I'm trying to distance myself from the
So
it
this is
it makes sense for me.
Nobody lost.
difficulty 1. It's not that difficult to assume that a doctor would be at a fancy party.
Sure.
Probably someone here might be a doctor. The only question is if they care enough to say Flint Carson, known coward, and guy who's just been shot in the chest.
He needs a doctor. Somebody help. All right, I'm gonna call on Everybody Loves Me
There you go.
because I am just adorable.
The winter one.
Are
Let's
you
see.
sure that your
Everybody-
character isn't a cat?
It's adorable.
Am I sure that my character is not a cat?
There you go.
No, that's not to pick up winter.
Okay. Yes, I'm not sure that my character is not a cat. Adventurous, no. Well-educated, maybe.
rather
Like
than
I would be able to
Peter
spot
Kenny.
someone that would look like a doctor.
That's
Mm,
profiling.
Like, that's street smarts. Not
That is profiling.
I don't think that ambidextrous is going to fit in here. I don't think boyish is going to fit in here. Maybe stubborn, because I stubbornly believe there is a doctor here.
You know what? I'll just let you go ahead and do it.
it's difficult.
Well, yeah, maybe you see somebody that's
It-
like,
I'll
like,
let you
"Well, I'm a
do it
doctor,
if
but I
you,
don't know if I
like,
want to do it. Like,
If you do something
No.
like stamp your feet and you're like, I
Uh-huh.
insist that there's a doctor here.
yeah. Like, oh, fine.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah,
Awesome.
like, please, is there a doctor here? And then no one steps forward, and then she like stamps her foot like in the most
Hi.
adorable fashion, and she's like, "I know that there is a doctor here. Someone, please help this man."
Roll those dice. Yeah.
And pair fours.
There are
Gotcha.
4 doctors.
That's
But would 3 out of 4 doctors recommend helping Flint Carson?
So I got one. I got one for you.
No, not the sunglasses.
Not the sunglasses.
No.
We're about to go on break, so I feel like this is perfect for this show.
Does a
The
blonde woman
sexiest
step out of the
RPG
crowd and
on
say,
Twitch.
"Heroes never die"?
No. So it's Sarah Ralston steps forward and she's just bustles over to Flint and is like, "Oh my, Mr. Carson, you appear to be bleeding. If you'll just come with me real quick." And she like wraps one arm around your waist and begins guiding you with her while pressing you close to her body. And it's like, "Now we'll just head back to my place and my girls will to give you a look over and I'll take a very nice look at his. Can you feel those pectoral muscles, sir? You work out
who
quite a
was
bit."
This person
Who is
again?
this person?
Yeah.
This is Lady Sarah Ralston. This is the woman
the old lady
who
who liked him.
liked him and supported him.
Oh, okay.
And we
that's right.
went on and on about the color of her dress.
Oh, right. the
Alrian set
person who
pink.
He
was
didn't say the
really-
color of the dress. I forgot.
I was just like, so I guess like Flint Carson looks at her and he's like, very weakly, the words he says to her is like, "I let you down. I didn't win.
Oh, you shot him, sir. You shot him good. Next
He's not
time,
as
just...
bad as he shot me."
she's just like, "Well, next time you'll just have to shoot him in the head."
Flint Carson faints.
Yeah, and I think that's a great place to take our break.
Awesome.
Flint Carson, Man of
Everything
Steel.
went according to plan. All according to
Sure.
Hashtag on plan.
all according to Keikaku.
I mean, here's the thing. You definitely got a lot of noble attention there. The only question is how's the rest of the team going to leverage
And now
it?
we need to small talk that and be like, "Did you see that duel? That
Yeah,
was crazy."
more importantly, we got to see a bit of the
Wade.
tragedy of Flint Carson, right? Like,
Mhm.
I feel like we don't often get to see tragedies. So advancing him along that track is very nice. By the way, Mr. Carson, you get an instant advancement for your
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
tragedy
Give
track.
me that.
Tragedies
I'm
are
gonna
awesome.
Get me a new stun.
I love tragedies.
It's like, I'm going to get a new stunt. It's called Quick Draw. It's I can use the better of my two skills.
Really?
It'd literally be useless for you because both yours are equally low. So let's go on and take that break. Enjoy some music. We'll be back in about 7 minutes for the second half.
Best episode yet.
You keep saying that.
It
on
is the
every
latest episode.
Because people will keep tuning in because they're like, I want to see if this one is the best one.
I don't think
I
anyone
don't,
says
yeah,
that.
I don't think that's how it
I
works.
mean, if we keep improving, it